Today, we will recap Loki Season 2, Episode 5. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, you can watch them on our channel to understand what happened before. Let's focus on the story. Loki opens his eyes and finds himself in the TVA, standing alone in the same room. He starts experiencing time slipping again. Loki reaches a room where another Loki is reading the TVA guidebook. He says hello, and time slips to the same room but at a different time. He picks up the guidebook and hears another Loki saying hello from behind. At this moment, spaghettifying starts. Loki time slips to Alcatraz in 1962 in a branch timeline. 3 people are trying to escape from prison. They were charged with bank robbery. They manage to escape and are ready to sail on a boat. One of them is Casey. Loki appears before him, but like the previous time, Casey does not recognize him. He tells him his name is Frank, not Casey. Frank Morris was a real-life character who managed to escape multiple times from jail. Loki then time slips to Oklahoma, then to New York, then to the TVA, and finally to Ohio. He time slips to those places where his friends are living their lives. Sylvie is working in a McDonald's in Oklahoma, B-15 is a doctor in New York, and Mobius is a jet ski seller in Ohio. They have lost all their memories about the TVA. They all live in a branched timeline. Loki tries to talk with B-15 and Mobius, but he time slips to OB in 1994, California. OB is a scientist but wants to be a full-time scientific novel writer. Sadly, nobody wants to buy his books. His house looks exactly like his room in the TVA. Loki appears before him, which initially scares him. Before OB, nobody could recognize Loki, and they also didn't believe what Loki was trying to say. But this time, OB not only listens but also believes and tries to help him. Mobius tells Loki that first he needs to control his time slipping. He has become a living tempad. Time slipping can be controlled because the places Loki went are somehow connected to him. There are always 2 questions in science, what and how. But there is an additional question in fiction, and that is why. So he has to understand why he needs to go to the TVA, which doesn't even exist. Loki says if he doesn't save the TVA, then there will be nobody to protect people from upcoming dangers. OB advises him to try time slipping, but nothing works. Loki asks how science will take them to a place that doesn't exist. OB says it exists because even after the blast, Loki time slipped to the TVA. That means it still exists. The only problem is that they don't know the location. OB thinks and comes up with an idea. They have to gather all his friends. Everyone has a temporal aura. That means a group of people would have a collective aura unique to that moment in time. If they can get everyone together in one place, they can read the aura just like coordinates. But they can't go there because they don't have any tempad. Loki tells him he can make one if he tries. OB tells Loki that it can take a lifetime to be discovered because they have no knowledge about it. They have to do research and start from scratch. Loki suddenly remembers he has a guidebook with him. Loki shows him the guidebook and says that OB himself wrote this. He can definitely make a tempad with the help of this book. But suddenly Loki time slips and reaches outside of Mobius's home. Mobius is a single parent and has 2 sons. One of his sons is mischievous. He gets tired of handling the kids. Loki meets Mobius, and Mobius thinks Loki has come to buy a jet ski. Loki tells him everything, but at first, he doesn't believe it. Then, OB comes there with the help of a tempad. It took him 19 months to build a tempad. Loki requests Mobius to help them, and Mobius agrees at last. In the same way, they convince B-15 and Casey. Now, only one person is left. Loki goes to Oklahoma and tells Sylvie that she won't recognize him, but to his surprise, Sylvie remembers everything. They go to a bar, and Loki says they need to go before the explosion because this is not their real life. But Sylvie doesn't agree with him. She says he who remains took them to the TVA without their will. Loki tells her that everyone should get a chance to choose their own life. Sylvie doesn't want to help with this case and asks him why he wants to save the TVA. He wants to save the TVA because he wants the TVA back, and then he wants his friends back. He doesn't want to live alone. Sylvie tells him that his friends are in the right place and that they have their own story. Loki asks where he will go then, and Sylvie tells him to write his own story. Loki returns and tells everyone to return to their homes. Meanwhile, Sylvie goes to a shop. She was listening to music, but all of a sudden, everything starts destroying. Sylvie uses her TemPad and reaches Loki. Loki tells everyone that he is sorry and tells everyone to live their lives. There is no need to save the TVA. Sylvie appears and tells them that they need to save the TVA because everything is getting destroyed. Loki tells OB that they are all here, the pens, the mug, the coordinates. OB says they need to study the temporal aura first, but he can't find the TemPad. They suspect Casey might have stolen it, as he wanted to go into the bank vault using the TemPad. Casey says he didn't take it. At that moment, Casey starts getting destroyed. OB, Mobius, B-15, Sylvie, everyone gets spaghettified before Loki. Loki tries to catch them, but fails. He screams, and time slips to a moment earlier. He realizes and tries again. He again reaches a moment earlier. He tells OB that he controlled time slipping. The question wasn't, why, the most important question was, who. He can rewrite the story. He finally time slips to that moment when Victor Timely was getting ready to enter the passage to fix the temporal loom. Episode 5 ends here. Hope you enjoyed it.